Retirement can mean different things to different individuals. For some, it may mean living out the rest of their days on a Mexican beach. For others, it may mean spending more time with friends and family. And for still others, it may mean playing World of Warcraft for 10 hours every day. I'm not here to advise you on how to spend your post-work years, but what I can say is that if you don't take care of certain financial demands, 5 of which I'll discuss right now, your planned retirement life may never materialize. When it comes to retirement, as I've already mentioned, most people have no idea. While I don't blame them for having no answer to the latter question, this is an unacceptable response. After all, everyone has aspirations. Some people would be content to quit their jobs tomorrow, while others look forward to finishing their working career and transitioning into the nascent stages of life. Firstly, what is a retirement target? To put it simply, is the second most important number in your life behind your girlfriend's phone number, of course. Because of its significance, you immediately need to lock it down. I won't lie, getting into this financial figure is tougher said than done. But here's a method you can use to come as close as you can to this benchmark number to start figuring out your retirement. You must first determine your annual spending budget for retirement. I know asking this is like asking what the weather will be exactly in 6 months, but it's important to know what this number could look like before I ask it. For instance, if you believe your lifestyle will remain the same, your retirement budget will look similar to what it does now when adjusted for inflation. On the other hand, if you plan to live the high life in your golden years, you'll either need to become a pilot in retirement or make sure you have enough savings. Also note any significant outlier costs that can be deducted from your retirement, such as fixing your roof, buying a new furnace, and similar once-in-a-lifetime expenses. Target or calculation following this evaluation. If you determine that your annual living expenses are $50,000, the next step is to extrapolate your retirement needs using the 4% approach. This rule makes the assumption that you will be retired in 30 years and have invested your money 50/50ths in equities and bonds. Using our $50,000 example, this means that you would need $1.25 million to retire, or 25 times your annual cost of living. Withdrawing at 4% annually will allow your portfolio to replenish itself every time you make a withdrawal, allowing you to sustain your retirement fund over the course of the rule's stated 3-decade timeline. The 4% rule has been criticized in the past as not being a realistic withdrawal rate. Many people feel that expecting to live off 4% is too optimistic, especially when markets go into a slump and all of a sudden you find yourself in need of money. But don't worry, because in a moment I will share with you how manageable investing towards $1 million truly can be. But first, one important note I must share is that the 4% rule has been scrutinized in the past as not being a realistic withdrawal rate. Number 2. Determine the sources of your retirement income. We all know that making it rain like Lil Wayne is the key to being able to retire, but as I mentioned before, the trick is to know which clouds will provide the rain you need right now well in advance. The most common route to retirement is building up a nest egg that will last them through their golden years. However, it's not the only option available for everyone. While defined benefit pensions are becoming less common by the day, there are still employers who offer them, allowing you to trade your working years for a defined income after you retire. The purchase of income-producing assets, such as real estate or dividend stocks, is your last option for maintaining your financial stability during your retirement years. Real estate typically does this by way of the rental payments it generates, while dividend stocks do this by dispersing a portion of their profits on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. Having a hands-off business is also an option. When it comes to retirement income, more is better, but all your efforts can be stifled if you miss the mark on one specific thing, which we're going to get into right now. If the market declines, you have your property to keep the cash coming in. Alternatively, if your withdrawal rate needs to be reduced in a given year, you have the business income to insulate you from financial ruin. Number 3. You may not know this about me, but some of my favorite words in the English language, like food, love, and even my name, Adam, have 4 letters. However, one 4-letter word that I know your retirement dreams love is death, so minimizing all of your debt is crucial to positioning yourself for an amazing retirement lifestyle. Now, me telling you that caring for the dead is not an ideal situation to be in is probably not something you've never heard before, but there's a catch. High withdrawal rate necessitates downgrading your standard of living in your prime earning years or risking never retiring at all by saving longer. As a result, you must pay off all of your obligations to position yourself for the finest retirement possible. Number 4. Create a reserve fund. If you've ever visited a girl's home and discovered you need to take a serious restroom break, you'll understand what an emergency means. Fortunately, this kind of emergency only costs you your pride and not your money. However, other emergencies in life can hit your wallet pretty hard, and when they occur during retirement, they can be especially punishing. To understand why, allow me to explain that chances are that at some point during your retirement years, you'll face some sort of emergency situation that can only be extinguished by money. For example, you may have your car break down or your furnace explode, can only be fixed with money. Number 5. Avoiding lifestyle inflation. You've been retired for a year, and in addition to watching every Netflix show, you've also completed 16 games of Candy Crush. What do you do now? Well, for some, retirement can result in extreme boredom. And if this boredom is not alleviated and managed, it can frequently lead to increased spending. Overspending in your retirement years is probably the second worst scenario to find yourself in after not saving enough in the first place, and it must be avoided at all costs. As they say, idle hands are the devil's playthings, and by making sure you know how you want to spend your days, you can keep the demons at bay. Therefore, in addition to deciding on your retirement years, don't lack purposes and enjoyment. Knowing how you want to spend your later years of life will also offer you protection against slipping into an inflated sense of self-worth. I am aware that some people simply cannot wait to retire, so if you fall into this category, be sure to click on the following video where I explain how you can retire on dividends with a much less money than you might think.